That's a Toyota. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Team Olympus and Carbon Shock Technology YouTube channel. Tonight, we are going to work on that. What is it?
2017 4runner.
So, 5th gen?
5th gen.
No, 5th gen. Yeah, 5th gen. So, this is a 5th gen 4runner. We make front and rear shocks for it. We thought it would be cool to show you a video of us putting the shocks on and our product installed. Corey already had been previously running another set of shocks on here. Good shocks, but we're carbon shocks, so we need to be running our brand. I don't even know where the shocks are, so should probably get those.
Bring one over to you.
Is it even, do we have the spring on yet?
Nope.
Should probably put a spring on it. This is a spring compressor, and this
It's a spring.
is a spring. I know, it's amazing, right? We're gonna put it on. Cue the music. Boom! And now the spring is on the shock. Went nice and easy, actually. Sometimes they play rough, but that one played nice. So we're gonna get the other spring on, get the top hats loaded. We'll get some shocks on. Here are the shocks with the springs on it. Again, if you buy these from us, they come all preloaded, so you don't have to deal with springs. We got a couple different spring options, but real easy process. So now that we got the springs, we're gonna put the misalignment spacers on and put the top hats on and put them in there. We're down at the front of the vehicle now. We're gonna take the sway bar bolt out. We're going to take the shock bolt out, lower the 3 bolts in the hat. We're gonna take the ball joint bolt out, and then this will pivot down a little bit, giving us room to get the shock out. So let's get these out. I need my 14.
I don't have it.
You took it.
No, I didn't. It's on your. No, I didn't.
Where's the wrenches at?
I didn't take. I put them all right there.
Where? Am I sitting on them?
Put blame.
I think you have them.
I don't have nothing except some sockets.
Where'd you put the wrenches that you took?
Probably right behind your head.
Well, here we are. Everything is off. If you are working on a factory unmodified 4runner, your sway bar here, some people don't run sway bars. If you do, you have to relocate it. And with that, in our kit, we send a sway bar relocation bracket, which I seem to have lost. And it relocates the sway bar forward a little bit. And, well, that's about it, actually. So, now that we got this all torn apart, we're going to get a couple things cleaned up and start installing the shock. This is our reservoir bracket, and this is our sway bar relocation. So, this guy slips on just right there with 2 bolts, and rather than Loctite, we choose to go the route of lock washers, unlike the previous people.
I didn't put that Loctite on there, but I know.
That's all on now. We're gonna wait to put the sway bar on till we do the other side, because as you saw, you got to kind of finagle it to get access up in there. It's kind of hard to see to the bolts. So we're gonna go knock out the other side, get the sway bar back in, and start putting the shocks in their new home. Well, there you have it. We have the shock installed. A couple little things to note. On the hose, all this is designed to move around the arm as it comes up and down. And sometimes you got to finagle this a little bit. And if you have to loosen these to get the hose to position where it needs to, you may drip some fluid, and that's okay. If a drop comes out or whatever, it's not going to be the end of the world, because you still have the IFP in here that's keeping positive pressure on everything. Just make sure that when you go through, you come in and you tighten all your fittings and joints. You always want to check that after you install it to make sure everything's tight, because things can move around and wiggle around and different things. So that's kind of how the hose sits on there. We've debated changing this to a 45 and a couple other things, but right now it seems to be working really well. And the hose it's a little bit bigger. We use AN8 hoses for everything, so it's a lot of flow to make sure that it can displace all the fluid properly. But there you have it. Kind of see all your clearances. It's definitely a little snug, but that's kind of the nature with Toyota stuff. It all fits in there and everything's happy. So we're gonna get the wheels back on and get this thing, we'll see how it does. Tires back on. Got this side on and all wrapped up. Looks good in there. All right, she's all done. We're trying to get some other stuff done today, but we had to get to it. Corey's got to get back to California. Boy, it's sitting really well. Corey, you've had a chance to drive it and probably put about 50-60 miles on it now. What do you think?
Well, it was a lot different than the other setup. Lowered the front a little bit because we were sitting really high up with the other preload from the previous shocks. But all in all, a lot smoother than, you know, like it was just, you know, it was different because we were able to get out and play with the adjusters, you know, kind of making the body sway. And it would sway, that's when we had everything really loosened up. And then we started stiffening it up, and it corners really good. You know, it's a lot more responsive than what I was like initially thinking it was going to be at first. I wasn't sure, you know. And you know, all in all, it was a great addition to what we were being able to do.
So you got easy access right there to adjust the knobs. Everything clears nice, and yeah. Right now he's running actually 0 preload, so he has some room to go up a little bit if he needs to. Lift height can be well, really it can be up to almost 2 inches, I think.
Yeah.
It depends. Well, yeah, it just depends. Ride quality can get a little stiffer. This is a 650 spring. We also offer with a 700-pound spring. So next up on the agenda, Corey's going to get his rear shocks done. They are
in the back of my vehicle, ready to go.
Where are they at?
They're right here. So,
let's show off the rears real quick.
These are the rears.
So these will be next up on the agenda. He's going to get those done when he gets back. This, like I said, this has the rebound bypass tube and the adjuster, all that good stuff. So he'll get that done in the next video. But as a whole, kit is not too terribly difficult. A couple little challenging things, getting to the sway bar bolts and just a few other things. So it's really it's a kit that people can put on fairly easy. And hopefully this kind of gave you a little bit of insight on these shocks on here. And we can't wait to shoot some videos, maybe this thing in the desert or going over some bumps and
definitely
all that good stuff.
We're gonna put the rear shocks on. It looks like probably Thursday. Me and Aaron out at Field Industries in California, we're gonna put on the rear shocks, and then we're gonna do a drive video for everybody to see. We're gonna send it off and put it on the YouTube and, you know, show what these shocks really can do. And
so all in all, in your opinion, putting these shocks on, how hard would you say it is? Pending that there was not a gallon of Loctite.
Yeah, there was
a lot of Loctite on those bolts.
There was a lot of Loctite. Honestly, it shouldn't be more than an hour-and-a-half job. Just be very careful. You know, obviously the 4Runner and the Tacoma have very similar issues with if you grab the ABS wire.
Oh yeah.
So don't want to stretch those out because it costs about $100 a piece, and you got to find them at the dealership only. Be very aware of getting in there when you're doing the sway bar, and just pay attention. Make sure everything's lined up. It goes right in, and very easily. I mean, do not see why a regular consumer could not put them on by themselves.
Cool. What's going on over there? Making shafts. Let's watch this creep out there. Kind of hard to see in there. There we go. So it's cutting the tenon end of our shaft. Oh man, there we go. See if it spreads now. Gets a little violent there. Always got a test fit. Yeah, non-stop. Getting shafts done one at a time. All sorts of different sizes.
Well, guys,
Corey, you got to roll?
California, here I come. 958 miles.
And you'll somehow do it in like no time at all. Well, hopefully you all enjoyed that video. Kind of a little bit of our shocks going on a rig, and if you have a 4Runner or Tacoma, now you know kind of a little bit of the process to install the shocks. We're not so much making these as guides, so to speak, just kind of showing the product go on. So we probably missed some things, and if we did, if you got questions, put them in the comments. We'll definitely answer them. Or hit us up at carbonshocks.com. Make sure to watch us on Instagram as well. We got a lot of cool content there. But with that, we got to get rolling. Corey's got to go, so we're going to wrap it up. Fist bump for you, buddy. Safe drive. See you in
Yeah, later,
California.
guys.
Fist bump for you.